Sir, given this context of just transition and the studies and the findings that are coming in, we would like to understand from you what have been the steps that the coal companies have taken towards just transition.
What is just transition in the context of coal mining? I don't know how many people have seen coal mining, I do not know. Only one or two? Not many. Okay. Coal mining, to restore the pre-mining conditions, that is just transition, that communities are not affected, environment is not affected. Because of coal mining, these two are affected. One is communities, employees, that local regions and all, and second is environment. Okay. How we can address it? One is that facing down or complete stoppage of coal mining and go looking for alternative things. But whether India can afford stopping the coal production? We have only coal. We don't have oil. We don't have gas. We have only coal. For energy security, it is very much essential. And keeping all this in the view, why can't we make coal sustainable? At Coal India level, we have two mining methods called underground mining and open cast mining. It's open cast mining is that you completely remove the overburden, you touch the coal, then take out the coal. So there your topsoil is completely disturbed, your land is completely disturbed, your land profile is completely disturbed, agricultural land is converted into useless or you can't go for agriculture further. And with open cast mining, lot of airborne dust, noise, so lot many things. It impacts environment, it impacts the community. And we get 96% of coal from open cast mine. Last year, country produced about 997 million ton, almost all 1 billion ton. Out of that, 96% comes from open cast mine. Every year, to produce this 1 billion ton coal, we need to disturb 2,000 hectares of land. That we have to break it, we have to remove it, then we have to take out the coal. So is there any way that we can reduce this impact so that just transition cost will be less, just transition time will be less? So if you look at global coal production statistics, about 8.5 billion ton coal production was done during last year. And out of that, about 51-52% comes from China, about 4.2 to 4.3 billion ton. And all that comes from underground mining. That totally global 8.5 production, total production, out of that 50% comes from China. And in that, 90% of Chinese coal production comes from underground mine. So in India also, we have huge potential for underground mining. What happens with underground mining? You don't need to take out that topsoil. Even underneath forests you can work. There are mines you can work underneath the oceans, underneath the nalas, underneath the water reservoirs. So you don't need to disturb anything. So that is the reason Coal India prepared a roadmap for 100 million ton underground production. Presently, Coal India is at 25 million ton. In next 5 years, there is a plan to increase it to 100 million ton. So that even with underground mining, the communities are not affected. Okay, coming to environment pollution, during last year, about 3 billion ton, I think in 2022, about 3 billion ton carbon emissions were there, total country. Out of that, mining related carbon emissions are about 28 million ton to 29 million ton, less than about 1%. So mining itself is not as polluted as we think. But what is happening when coal is supplied to end-use plants, power plants, industries, where they burn the coal, And there most of the carbon emissions are taking place. If you see the split up of carbon emissions, energy sector emits 76% of total carbon emissions. So recently there is a study in America also that during power generation in thermal power plant, they could successfully capture the carbon. Then once you can address the community problem with underground mining, and if you can capture the carbon while power is generated, while burning the coal, then why should we go away from coal? So R&D is going in that direction, that carbon capture, sequestration and storage, and also utilization, and also going for underground mining. Definitely, it will minimize the impact of community and environment so that just transition becomes more easier. So that's what Coal India is also doing, even Singareni is also doing. And apart from that, now we are going for solar plant. We have a net zero target of 3 gigawatt for Coal India. And our target is by 2930, we need to achieve net zero by setting up 3 gigawatt solar power plant. And already we have split up targets for every year. We identified the land. And in the recently Gujarat also, we got something. That way, I think we are sure that we'll achieve that net zero for Coal India by 2930. That's one thing. We are doing plantation very extensively. Our target is every year 2,000 hectares of land. In the last 5 years, I think we have done about 7,000 to 8,000 hectares of land. In future, next 5 years, about 10,000 hectares land plantation, we have the target. And that is also being done aggressively. Another important thing is that now Government of India, Ministry of Coal, that now they are going to amend mining plan, mine closure guidelines. That actually mine closure guidelines are given in 2009. And before that, lot many mines were closed. Before 2009, about 170 mines were closed. And they were not closed properly. And in mine closure plan, there is no provision for skill development or alternative deployment, land repurposing. There was no provision in that. Now with the amendment is not yet done, but stakeholders consultation is done, draft policy is circulated. In that they are taking care of all these things, that redeployment, reskilling, and this alternatives like solar and pisciculture. In Coal India, we have at 3 to 4 places where water pond is there, pisciculture locals, they are doing it. Lot many families are dependent on that. In the similar way, lot many things that we developed so many eco parks, 32 eco parks have been developed, 50 parks under development, and tourism. So that way, all possible steps are being taken up. And in the draft amendment, and they have systematized that any mine closure plan has to be planned with all that land repurposing and where solar plant can be installed or what can be done and how alternative employment can be provided for locals so that they are not suffered even after closure of the mine. So that one important thing. Presently, about 300 closed mines are there. Out of that, again, they are converted into open cast mines and reopened mines, some of the mines. And presently, 66 plus 14, about 80 mines are to be closed. That permanent final mine closure plans have been approved. And by 28, 29, all these 66 mines for final mine closure and about 14 temporary mine closure plans will be completed successfully and taking care of all these things. That restoration of pre-mining conditions and also monitoring of environmental impacts and also this solar power plant or wherever, even pumped storage plant, even gravity storage. That's a new concept coming up. In China, extensively they are going for this gravity storage. Gravity storage is same principle like a pumped storage power plant. There we have lot many shafts. For mining, we also sink shafts, maybe 200 to 300 meters depth. That can be used for gravity storage. So these are some of the steps Coal India is taking, and also energy efficient measures like we are going for EV vehicles and going for LNG vehicles, and also all LED lamps and all. So all the steps are being taken up, apart from going for underground mining and other things. So I think coal industry, particularly in India, Singareni and Coal India, they are moving towards just transition, that whatever steps are to be taken in a constructive way, holistically they are thinking, and roadmaps are prepared and being implemented and being monitored by the Ministry of Coal at regular intervals.